Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm home. It feels so good to be home. It was nice getting away for a little while, and I had the most amazing, influenced, inspired, motivated time. But I missed my kids and my husband. I'm really happy to be home. So, oh my gosh, I met so many amazing women this weekend. I cannot tell you. It is just, it just washes over me. You know, I just have these moments where I think of some of the things that some of these powerful women talked about, and I just go, yes. There it comes again. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm charged. I'm ready. I'm going straight to the top, you guys. Come on. This is just, women are so amazing. And you know why we're so amazing? It's because not just that multitasking thing. I mean, that's a big part of it. But what's really amazing about women is our ability to reach people through our innate need, our innate gift of nurturing. You know, we don't just fix the problem. We love that person, and then we discuss how to fix a problem. And there's just something about that connection, that real human connection. Wow, so inspired, so amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I already did some of my starting stuff. I wanted to share a funny story from Vegas. You know, I'm in my 40s. I don't go running down the strip and woo, you know, drinking and doing all that stuff. But I still had an adventure. So let me share that while I put on some eyeshadow. So I was going to come home Saturday. The convention was Thursday night, all day Friday, and then all day Saturday, ending at 5 p.m. Yesterday. And so I thought, well, you know, 5 p.m. If I got in my car, I could drive straight home. I'd probably be home by like 10. But then I didn't want to drive in the dark, and I was so tired and just emotionally drained from all the amazing things that I'd been through. And so I thought, well, I'll just stay one more night. And Ken really didn't want me driving anyway, so he wanted me to spend the night. So I had gotten up in the morning yesterday, and I was tired, and I was ready for my last day, and I was missing home, and I thought, man, you know, I should probably just spend the night. I could have a good night's sleep. I could come home refreshed, well slept, you know, well rested, and be good to go, hit the ground running with all the kids. So I get up at like 7 o'clock, I call the front desk, and I say, hey, can I stay another night? And the girl at the desk says, well, let me check on the availability of that room. Yeah, it looks like you can spend another night. I said, okay, you know, how much? Oh, like $1 million. Oh, okay, great, no problem. So she says, all right, you're all set. I have your credit card on file. We're good to go. You might want to swing by the desk and have your card, your key card, key card, whatever they do with it. And I was like, all right, you know, sure, no problem. You can go to the mobile desk. You don't have to wait in line or anything. I said, no problem. You know, at my lunch break, I'll just swing through. So I did that. So we went to my morning session, and then I went straight over to the hotel lobby, and I swung by the mobile desk, and I gave the guy my key, and I said, I'm staying another night, and they told me to come here and have it rekeyed. He says, no problem. He runs it through a machine, and he hands me a new key to my room. And so I'm looking for my shadow brush, and I'm not finding it. Where are you? Where are you? So we're all set. We're ready to go. And so I go to my afternoon session, and the entire conference is done by 5 p.m. Okay. And so I go over to kind of the concierge area, and I say, can I make a dinner reservation? And I take myself to a nice Italian restaurant, and I have a nice dinner, and it's delicious, it's wonderful. Tim Allen was going to be doing stand-up there last night, so I thought, you know, I could go see Tim Allen's show, but I had already seen the Beatles Friday night, and I was pooped. So I said, I'm just going to go back to my room, and I'm going to review all my awesome notes, and I'm going to, you know, just pack and get ready for tomorrow and just rest. So I go back to my room, and that's exactly what I did. Threw on the TV, talked to my husband, you know, packed a little bit, went through all my notes. I'm feeling really good. And I go to sleep. And at 1:42 a.m., a security guard bursts into my room. It was a woman, a very large, intimidating woman, and she has her hand on her gun in her holster. It wasn't out, it wasn't like pointed at me or anything, but she's in my room with her hand on her hip, on her, weapon. And she's in my room at nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even sit up right away because I was like so sound asleep, when you're in that deep sleep. Yeah, that's where I was. And wow. And so I get out of bed and she says, your room is supposed to be empty. And so, like, what are you doing in here, kind of thing. And I said, I called the desk in the morning. I arranged this. They knew that I was staying another night. I even went down to the desk a second time and I had a new key made. And so, yeah, I'm sleeping here. That's what I'm doing here. And she was like, I'm very, very sorry. What's the name? I give her the name and I hear her in her walkie-talkie as she walks out of the room, Stephanie Pearcy. And so I lay back down in bed and I'm just like, whoa. And I'm starting to kind of calm down. My heart rate's coming down to a more normal rate. And the phone rings. And it's the front desk. And so I have to tell them the whole dang story again. And, I'm like so sleepy. Like I don't even, felt like a dream. So I tell him, yeah, I talked to somebody at the desk this morning. They said it was good. They told me to swing by the desk, but I tell the whole story again. He says, I'm very, very sorry. I'm going to comp you the resort fee. And I'm just like, what? Like, good night. So I hang up the phone and I couldn't go back to sleep. I checked my email and I got on Facebook and I'm like, kind of just, I was just wired from all the excitement. So I could not go back to sleep. So an hour goes by, another, half an hour goes by. I keep looking at the clock like, oh my gosh, I have to drive home tomorrow to California and I'm going to be exhausted. And I finally drift off to sleep. And I wake up this morning, it's noisy, there are high winds in the desert, they're whipping around this hotel. It sounded like, airplanes coming over real close. And so I call my husband and I start telling him about what's happened. And he is like, they comped you the resort fee? Really? Like they burst into your room in the middle of the night and like you're just fine with them comping you the resort fee? Really? Who are you right now? And I'm like, well, I'm in a Zen place, I've been inspired all weekend. Like, I'm just Zen, I'm happy. And he's like, well, okay, you're handling this better than I would have, kind of thing. And so I get off the phone with him and I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? What is up with me right now? That's crazy. So I called the front desk and I told them my situation and I was like, listen, man, why didn't you just call me in the first place? Why didn't you just pick up the phone and say, who are you and why are you in our hotel right now? Oh, I'm sorry, there's been a mistake. We'll take care of it on our end. No. They send in the, security guard into my room, middle of the night. Oh my gosh. So I tell the girl and she says, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm so sorry about the inconvenience. I will comp you all 3 nights that you were here. And I'm like, oh no, I said, listen, I am not paying you for last night because I did not sleep here. I may have been here, but I did not sleep here, thanks to you. This is not my error. This is your mistake. And not just you, 2 of you. 2 of you. I talked to the woman in the morning and then I talked to the guy at lunchtime who gave me the key. 2 people missed it. 2. Not me. I was not one of those 2. So, She said, hold on a second. They like to put you on hold so you calm down. But I don't. Of course, I just get a little bit more worked up. And so she gets back on and I'm so sorry, ma'am. And yes, we will not charge you for last night. Oh my goodness. Really crazy, right? But had it not happened, I would probably not have an interesting story for you. So there you go. I'm a glass half girl, kind of. A glass half girl. Good thing I'm not tired. Glass half girl. Oh, anyway, so I'm using palettes 4 and 1 and doing kind of a blue and gold mix here. And that's kind of a hint for what I'm going to end with the lips. This is going to be a short live because, like I said, I'm a little bit on the sleepy side right now. So I used a little bit of Honest. I used a little bit of Cheerful in my blues. And now I'm using a little bit of Elated from palette 1. And then I'm going to go in for a real shimmer. And I'm going to do some Brassy.
Oh, I use Brassy.
Right here. And right here. And we'll move on. So yeah, that's my big Vegas story. Other than that, it was an amazing weekend. I met some amazing women. I made a lot of friends. You know, I always sat somewhere different every time I went in. There were about 5,000 women at this conference. I need you to not get up here, please, because it shakes the table. And it was really interesting because you could not, you were forbidden. It was the only rule of the conference. You could not talk to anyone about your business or hint in any way about your business. So nobody knew, even the speakers couldn't even tell us what company they were referring to when they were talking about how they made their millions and millions of dollars. They could not tell us who they worked for. So you're sitting by all these people, and they would do things like, once in a while they say, if you're a 6-figure earner, please stand up. And the girl I'd been talking to for the last 30 minutes would stand up, and I'd be thinking, oh, she's like younger than me. Who does she work for, right? So that was cool. And then yesterday, the last day, they have this thing called the 7-figure earners panel. And all these millionaires, these women who have all made millions from direct sales, they get up and they tell you how they did it. And guess what the secret is? They work their asses off. There's no secret there. So they take this woman out of the audience. They had one woman who had appendicitis or something and couldn't be there. And so the guy who's putting this on, Eric Worre, he says, okay, if you're a 7-figure earner, you know, raise your hand or stand up or whatever it is. And, you know, a bunch of people stand up. And there's this woman, this beautiful woman with this orange shirt on. I mean, it was almost like it was staged. She has this gold jewelry on. She's just beautiful. And he gets her up on stage, and she becomes a part of this panel. And like these other women up there, they had all had time to prepare to answer these questions and everything else. This woman, like cold out of the audience, I mean, no wonder. And she says, and she's listening to all these people, you know, they all kind of know of each other. A lot of them have written books. You know, we kind of knew a lot of these women and stuff. And she says, well, actually, I'm an 8-figure earner. Who does she work for? What company? I want to know. But I'm so glad they have that rule because honestly, it would affect you. And we did have one presenter, a very, very well-known presenter, actually, slip and say which company she worked for. And you know what? It did. It affected the presentation. It did. It actually changed the way that I listened to her and the way that I received her information. Once I knew what her products were and once I knew what she sold to get where she was, it affected me. So I was grateful for that rule. I thought it made a lot of sense. Took out that like kind of competitiveness across all of the women who were there, and it really created a way for us to just you know, support each other and be excited for each other and come together as just a really powerful group of women and love on each other rather than, oh, she works for la 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 la, you know, none of that cattiness. It really took it all out of there. So I'm just putting on a little mascara here before I go to bed. And I gotta be honest with you guys because I said I would run this whole thing with integrity. I think it's time for me to get more mascara. So let's think about how long this lasted. I've been probably putting on this mascara 1 to 2 times a day, 1 to 2 coats per time, every day since every day since about the first, second week in January, okay? And now we are entering the second week of March. So that kind of gives you an idea. And now I need to order some more. So, you know, I can still use it. I just noticed, like, did you see that fiber, that chunk of fibers kind of fall? I just noticed that I'm getting to the bottom of the barrel with the fibers. The mascara part, this gel part, seems to still have a lot of life in it. But I just noticed having to babysit my fiber wand a little bit more. So how many uses would that be? Let's do a little bit of math. So you got, say, 2 uses a day, 2 coats a time. We'll say 1. 2 uses a day. That's 14 a week. That's 28 every 2 weeks. That's 56 a month. That's 100. Sorry, I kind of forgot my number. What was I at? 50? Anyone have a calculator around there? Who's listening? Let's see. What did I say? 58?
You said 100.
I'm too tired for this math. That would be 116 uses, right? 116 uses. And I could probably, and that's you know, a low number because I often was using 2 coats at a time. So you could even get close to doubling that number. So I would say, let's just average 150 uses. And then it's time to put in another order. So that's about right. I think, you know, when I was watching other presenters, they were saying this stuff lasts 4 to 5 months. So that would be about right. That would be just about right for a non-presenter. So yeah, so I love Vegas. I never left my hotel room. When I did, it was to get in my car and drive home. It took me 6 hours. I drove through the rain. Sometimes very, very heavy rain. Lots of trucks, very slow. 6 hours from Vegas to San Diego is not good time for those of you who don't know. Okay, so quick eyes, we're done. I just did a little bit of shadowing with some browns and golds and blues. And now I'm going to show you a little trick with the lips. And since I was wearing a blue shirt, I just went blue. So here's my crazy blue. This is called Superstitious. Okay, that squeaking that's in the background, that's my daughter. She's on, we have aerial silks hanging in our living room, and so she's on those right now. It's with all that noises. Okay, so our liquid lipstick, it's really blue, and I have used this once before if you've seen it. And what you can do with this to kind of mellow it out, and this works with any of our liquid lipsticks, and I just saw a presenter recently do this, that's why I wanted to show you, is you take your liquid lipstick and you take a concealer and you mix them. And so you're supposed to mix them on your hand with a Q-tip and then apply them, but I'm going to be just like a risk taker because, you know, I just came from Vegas. I'm all about taking risks. And I'm going to apply the liquid lipstick and then I'm going to put the concealer over it and we'll just see how it works. If it doesn't work, I'll wipe it off and we'll try again. So this is Superstitious. And with Easter coming and a spring coming, this is a great way to use some of the colors you have and create new colors out of them because it really gets to be this kind of pastel-y look. So yeah, who else has heard about security guards bursting into rooms in the middle of the night? So I guess what they have going on in Vegas is when you have your door shut and you have that like metal piece, that extra security feature, it sends, the front desk can tell that that is latched. There's like a computer thing hooked up there so that they know when that is latched. So if they see rooms are empty, they go through them at night. And if they see any of those latches are done, they're like, uh-oh, somebody's in there. And they send security to check it out. So the security guard opened my room, opened my door, and then had a tool she used to push that metal piece away so she could enter my room. I'm so sorry I dropped you guys. I love you. Sorry. Are you okay? I don't know why I'm being so careful with this. I'm going to just cover it up. Okay, let me move on. All right, I'm going to use a lip brush, this one. Hope this works. Of course it'll work. Why the doubt? I'm going to put a little bit of this concealer on my hand, and then I'm going to just take my lip brush in it, and I'm going to put it on over this. Uh-huh. Maybe not the best color to demo this on. In hindsight, I'm thinking maybe I should have used Sentimental, that fresh orchid color. We can try it another night. I can't talk. I don't know. I like it. So of course, the more concealer you use, the lighter it'll get. I walked in the door. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. That was the first thing I did. But then, Rafe spotted me. Oh, you guys. That is the best feeling in the world. Mommy! And all my kids come running out, hugging me, missing me. That's the best. Okay, so lesson learned, do mix it first before you put it on, because now I'm running into like different shades of blue as I do this. Depending on how much concealer I use, right? It's kind of cool because it looks like I have like a, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like I like did a lip liner with blue and then came over it.
It does.
Oh, thank you. Okay. That matches my headscarf really well. I think that turned out good. And all that, I really didn't even use all that concealer. That was actually too much that I put on my hand there, you can see. So it doesn't use too much. So that's mixing the Splash liquid lipstick with a concealer. And you can do that with any of your lipsticks. Just mix them and get that lighter pastel-y color. The more concealer you use, the lighter it will get. So there you go. Got a little blue tonight. I just chose it because I was wearing blue. But I'll go back and do some warmer colors tomorrow. Maybe we'll do kind of, I don't know, what should we do? Any requests?
Pink.
I'm kind of thinking, well, yeah, everybody likes that pink and purple palette. It's a pretty one. Or I could go back and do some browns and golds. So you guys comment below what you would like to see tomorrow, or send me a private message. And I'm going to wrap it up for tonight and just go sit down and relax for a little bit and be with my husband, because I haven't seen him in 4 days. So everyone have a good night. Thank you for watching. Please share my video if you feel inclined. And I will see you all tomorrow here. I am thinking of changing my time. 7:15 works really well for the household, but I feel like maybe 5:15 might be a better time to go live, so I'm going to play around with that. I will post tomorrow what I decide. So hope to see you then. Everybody have a good night and a great week coming up. Bye, guys.